Why do people call you initially? What is usually the trigger point that gets people to get you in?
That would be a handful of things. So, one of the more common ones is that there's either an insurance issue. Insurance companies are starting to push it more because they're
Right.
recognizing that not covering electrical safety, even though electrical accidents don't happen as often, they are some of the most costly incidents to deal with. Not
Right.
only do you have the extensive recovery time for whoever was involved, or worse, they don't actually survive, but you also have all that equipment that's been damaged and needing to be replaced. Sometimes the facility itself is damaged and needs renovations to get back up to code. And I mean, it's a huge deal. So insurance companies are starting to push it more and more. And so sometimes they get close to re-upping their policy and, hey, you don't have an up-to-date study, you better get it done, or we're going to charge you way more, or we're going to drop you.
Right.
So that's one major factor pushing recently. But previously, it was more just, if somebody had heard of an incident happening, or if it was safety professional who previous job, they'd always made sure that that was taken care of. And now they're trying to get this new company up to speed with it. There could be a number of factors, but worst case is whenever we get called after an arc flash has already happened, and
Right.
that they're trying to get a study done so that, future times there's not any issues. But the old slogan that we had, Bob Herzig used all the time, don't let safety happen by accident. Don't call us after someone's
Yeah.
already gotten hurt. We want to help avoid that.
Yeah, and that's what I was alluding to, and I wondered if I'm sure you don't have the exact number, but how many of your calls you're getting sort of after an incident, as opposed to, do you find now though that you sort of maybe alluded to it a bit, is that are people, because of insurance and that, people are getting a little more proactive of getting rather than reactive?
Yeah, I think that there's also just a lot more awareness that's
Mm,
helping with that proactive attitude. Just understanding that it's not as rare as people think. It doesn't happen as often as like a slip, trip, and fall, or a crush injury, or a car
right,
accident, but it's not as rare as like a shark attack either,
right.
or a plane crash. People are terrified of sharks and plane crashes, but arc flash happens way more often than that. And just understanding that, it's a real and it's a prevalent issue for anybody who has to open up electrical equipment. And every time they open it, there's that lurking threat, there's that hazard. People are understanding that more and more, and they don't want to leave it to chance nearly as much as they used to.